What's going on YouTube? I'm Nick the Tutor, and in today's video we're going to be doing another digital SAT answer explanations. In this video I'm going to be doing Math Module 2 from Digital SAT Practice Test 1. If you do have a question, make sure to put it in the comments below. I will answer them. Also, please feel free to hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot to continue to make this awesome digital SAT content. Now let's get right into the questions. So in this video, I'm going to be using the Desmos calculator as well as answering all the questions. If you do have a question, make sure to throw it down below. But a lot of these first few are going to be quite easy, so I'm going to try to grind through them quickly so we can get to the harder ones now. When you're taking a standardized test, that's a very good strategy. You want to make sure that you don't spend a lot of time on the easy stuff, but you want to make sure to be accurate. So let's look at number 1. Tilly earns P dollars for W hours of work. Which expression represents the amount of money in dollars Tilly earns for 39 W hours of work? So if W is hours, it looks like Tilly is earning $39 per hour. So how would you calculate this? You would do 39 times the number of hours of work. But here, we just have to replace P. So I'm going to go with answer choice A. None of these other ones make any sense. This is a multiplication issue. That's how you calculate something per hour. All right, let's get into number 2. For a training program, Juan rides his bike at an average of 5.7 minutes per mile. Which function M models the number of minutes it will take Juan to ride X miles at this rate? So say he had to go 10 miles, you would do 5.7 times 10. So I'm going to go with answer choice D here. Once again, the first few are easy, so we're just going to try to blast through those. Number 3, the solution to the given system of equations is x comma y. What is the value of y? So we've got to find y here, and we can see we can plug in this 3x here. So negative, and I'm going to plug in the value for 3x, which is 12, plus y equals negative 6. So I'm going to add 12 to each side. I got y equals 6. So another easy one. Let's keep it moving. Number 4, s equals 40 plus 3t. The equation gives a speed, s, in miles per hour of a certain car t seconds after it began to accelerate. What is the speed in miles per hour of the car 5 seconds? So t is seconds. So we're going to put in 5 there. So 40 plus 3 times 5. That's going to be 40 plus 15. So I'm going to go with choice D. All right, let's take a look at number 5. For the right triangle shown, A is 4 and B is 5. Which expression represents the value of C? So that would be 4 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. We don't have that. What they did was they square rooted both sides, so our answer is going to be choice D. Pythagorean theorem. Let's get it. Number 6, what is the solution to the given equation? Right, so 4x plus 5 equals 165. This is simple, so we're going to just do basic algebra. 4x equals 160. So I have x equals 40. Let's get it. Number 7, another fill in the blank here. The x-intercept of the graph is x comma 0. What is the value of x? I don't know what's going on here. I'm just going to read the graph and pick the x-intercept. Sometimes the SAT is easy. Sometimes it's hard, but we want to really clean up on these. That's an easy question. Comment down below if that's too easy for the SAT. All right, let's look at number 8. The function f is defined 1 over 10 x minus 2. What is the y-intercept? So on a graph, when we just go back up here, the y-intercept, right, is where x equals 0. So what we have to do is put in 0 for x. So we get negative 2. So the y value is going to be negative 2. This is the x value. That's wrong. It's a trick answer choice. We're going to go with choice B. Let's get into number 9. The function f is defined by f of x equals 7x cubed in the xy plane. The graph of y equals g of x is the result of shifting the graph down 2 units. So we're going to do f of x equals 7x to the third. Now remember, shifting down is subtracting from the y value. This is the y value, so we're going to go with minus 2 here to shift it down 2. If you wanted to check, you could use Desmos here. I don't think it's necessary. We're going to go with choice D. All right, number 10, let's see. I want the solution. Now we could see here they gave us x plus 7, and we can just plug that right in here, and that is 10. So instead of x plus 7 squared equals y, we're going to have 10 squared equals y. So y is 100. The only answer choice that has a y value of 100 is choice A, the correct answer. Let's get it. Let's take a look at number 11. Which expression is equivalent to, right? So we want to make sure to match the like terms. This x third term, 7x to the third minus 6x to the third is going to be x to the third. And then 7x minus negative 3x is going to be plus 3x. So 7 plus 3 is 10x. So I'm going to have this, which is answer choice A. Let's take a look at number 12. The function p is defined. P of n equals 7n to the third. What is the value of n when p of n is equal to 56? So they're saying p of n is equal to 56. We're going to go 56 equals 7n to the third. We're going to divide by 7. So that's going to be 8 equals n to the third. And now we just need to take the cubed root. So once again, that's going to be 2 equals n. You could use a calculator, of course, to check that, but I already know that one, so I'm going to go with A. All right, let's take a look at number 13. We have a figure here. In the figure shown, line C intersects parallel lines S and T. What is the value of X? So if this is 110, this one will be 70 here. And since these lines are parallel, right, these two angles here would be the same. So I'm going to go with 70 as my answer. Let's take a look at number 14. A list of 10 data values shown. What is the mean of these data values? So this is going to be a Desmos question. All right, so I got my Desmos up here. Let's do this. 6 plus 8 plus 16 plus 4 plus 17 plus 26 plus 8 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 100, and that was 10 numbers. Okay, so I'm back on the test. 100 divided by 10 is going to be 10. Correct answer. All right, let's take a look at number 15. The equation E of t, 5 times 1.8 to the t is estimated number of employees at a restaurant where t is number of years since the restaurant opened. Which of the following is the best interpretation? Number 5. So this is a formula for exponential growth. This is the principal or the starting value. So that would be how many employees the restaurant had at the start. So let's see, A, the estimated number of employees when the restaurant opened. That's probably going to be the correct answer. Let's go with letter A. All right, number 16. What is the minimum value of the given function? So this is going to look like this, right? And where this is an intercept of 55. So I'm going to go with, this is a positive parabola. It's a smiley face. Right, and if it's a negative parabola, it's a sad face. So I'm going to go with choice 55 as the minimum value. You could always use Desmos to check that if you needed. Right, let's get into number 17. Each year, the value of an investment increases by 0.49% of its value the previous year. Not the best investment, but let's see what we got here. Which of the following functions best models how the value of the investment changes over time? So it's going up by a percentage, so that's going to be, it's also increasing, right? So it's not going to be decreasing. And it's not going to be linear, right? It's an exponential increase. We're going to go with choice C. To number 18, the population of Greenville increased by 7% from 2015 to 2016. If 2016 population is K times 2015 population, what is the value of K? So that would be, if this is the 2015 population, it's going to be an increase of 1.077% increase. We're going to go with K as 1.07, answer choice C. Let's get into number 19. This expression is equivalent to a to the 11 over 12. So remember, x to the 1/2 power would be the square root of x to the 1. So we want to put the numerator down here, right? So this is where the 11 is going to go, and the denominator is going to go over here, just like x to the 1/2 is the square root of x to the 1. A to the 11 over 12 is going to be the 12th root of a to the 11. So we know it's not a, and we know it's not d, but it looks like we're going to have to multiply here. So 12 does go into 144 12 times, and 11 goes into 132 12 times. So this, choice B, would be equivalent to this here. So that is the correct answer. All right, let's get into number 20. An event planner is planning a party. It costs the event planner one-time fee of $35 to rent the venue and $10.25 per attendee. Budget of $200, what's the greatest number of attendees? So we're going to do 35 plus 10.25x is less than $200. So we subtract 35. 10.25x is less than 165. So here, let's divide by 10.25. So now this is where we need a calculator. So let's jump into Desmos here. 165 divided by 10.25. That gives us 16 and change, so we're not going to be able to have 17, so I'm going to go with the answer choice as 16. Let's get into number 21 here. If the absolute value of 4x minus 4 equals 112, what is the positive value of x minus 1? Now we want the positive value, so I think if we just drop the absolute value, we will get a positive value, because if we add 4 to each side, 4x equals 116. Now, I could do this by hand, but let me just check with Desmos. I want to make sure that I get this right. So 116 divided by 4 is 29. So we have x equals 29, but then they want x minus 1. So that's going to be 28 is my answer. You always have to be careful when they do something like that. That's an easy way to get one wrong. When I did take the digital SAT test myself online, I made 1 or 2 mistakes like that, resulting in not getting a 1600. I only got a 1560. So just being honest with you guys, obviously when I was rushing, I was doing the test too quickly and I made a simple mistake like that. So you want to make sure to be careful, reread the question stem, and make sure you don't lose any points. All right, let's get into number 22. A cube has an edge length of 68 inches. A solid sphere with a radius of 34 inches is inside the cube, such that the sphere touches the center of each face of the cube to the nearest cubic inch. What is the volume of the space not taken out of the sphere. So we need the volume of the cube minus the volume of the sphere. So the volume of a cube is going to be side cubed. So 68 to the third minus, and then the equation here is 4/3 pi r cubed, and the r is 34 cubed, right? So this is what we need to do here. 68 cubed minus 4/3 pi 34 cubed. So let's go over to Desmos and we'll check this out. So 68 cubed is 314,432, and then we want to do 4/3 pi 34 cubed. And now we want to subtract them. So 314,432 minus 164,636. So 149 something here. So I'm going to go with choice A here. That was a little bit of a tricky one, but we got it. You just got to take your time. Let's get into number 23. What is the diameter of the circle in the xy plane with the equation? Remember the equation for a circle: x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared, where hk is the center. So 16 equals r squared, so r would be 4, and then that's the radius. The diameter would be 8. So I'm going to go with choice B, 8. Make sure you memorize this formula. That is extremely important for the SAT. You have to memorize it, and it is not given in the formulas. But let's get into number 24. The exponential function of f, the value of f of 1 is k, where k is a constant. Which of the following equivalent forms of the function f shows the value of k as the coefficient or the base? So this would be the coefficient slash base here. What we want is just the base. So if we put in 1, we're talking about 1, that's going to be 1 plus 1. So that's going to be squared. So we're going to get a number that's bigger than this. Once again here, 80 times 1.6, that's going to be bigger than 80. We wanted just the base here, right? So C is going to be 1 minus 1 is 0. And then 1.6 to the 0 is just 1. And then 1 times 128 is 1, so we would get 128. So that is what we wanted there. And then this one is going to give us 1 minus 2 is a negative exponent. So D would be wrong, so I'm going to go with choice C there. That is tricky. That's a theoretical question. Those are always hardest on the SAT or any other test, ACT for that matter. Theoretical math questions are always a little bit difficult, but if you know the concepts, you can get it. I want to reiterate, you guys, you can improve on this test. You got to watch these videos, you got to prepare, practice, strategize, and you will do better. Let's get into number 25. A model estimates that at the end of each year from 2015 to 2020, the number of squirrels in a population was 150% more than the number of squirrels in the population at the end of the previous year. The model estimates that at the end of 2016, it's a little bit weird, right? 2016, there were 180 squirrels. So the following equations represent this model where n is the estimated number of squirrels, t years at the end of 2015. So it's going to be 2.5 to the t, right? Because that's 150% more than the previous year, because this would represent a 50% increase. So I'm going to get rid of A and I'm going to get rid of C. Now, the question is, what's up with B and D? They said 2016 there was 180 squirrels. That's 1 year after the first year. Let's try B, right? 72 2.5 to the 1, right? So 1 year, this would be 2016. This should come out to 180. 72 times 2.5. 72 times 2 is 144. Half of that is 36. 144 plus 36 is 180. So 2016 should have been 180, so I'm going to go with choice B. This is not the first year, so I'm thinking that D is wrong, so we're going to go with B. All right, almost done here. Number 26. These are probably going to be tough, right? We have two equations, and the given pair of equations A and B are constants. The graph of the pair of the equation xy plane is a pair of perpendicular lines. Which of the following pairs also represents a pair of perpendicular lines? So we got to get these into y equals mx plus b form, right? So that's the problem here. So 5x plus 7y equals 1 minus 5x. 7y equals negative 5x plus 1 divided by 7. So we get y equals negative 5 over 7x plus 1 over 7. Now, here's the thing, right? We want the perpendicular line, perpendicular slope, negative reciprocal. So we're going to go with 7 over 5 as the slope we want, right? That would be the negative reciprocal of negative 5 over 7, right? So this is the slope that we want. Which of the following pairs of equations? Now, remember this slope here. Look at this line. Do that here. ax plus by equals 1 minus ax. So by equals negative ax plus 1 divided by b. So we end up with y equals negative a over b x plus 1. So negative a over b equals 7 over 5, right? So one of these is going to have to be negative in order for this to make sense, right? We'd have here is a negative 7, because negative a would be positive 7. So we're looking for something like this. So let's go into choice A. This is where you have to save time, right? We have to just use the time wisely here. So we're going to end up with 7y, I'm just going to do some quick math, negative 10x plus 1, 5 by 7. So we get y equals negative 10 over 7. Here, we're going to end up with negative 2by equals negative ax plus 1. So we get negative a over negative 2b. The negatives cancel out, so a over 2b. Now, the perpendicular, so remember a is 7, well, a negative 7 and b 5. So we get negative 7 over 10, and that is the reverse of this. Right, so that didn't work. We want this to be flip-flopped. We're missing something. So we're not going to go with choice A. Let's look at choice B. So we're going to get 7y equals negative 10x plus 1. So we're going to also have negative 10 over 7. So we want the negative reciprocal, so 7 over 10. So we want 7 over 10 as our slope. So we're going to plug in A and B. So we're going to have, once again, 2by equals negative ax plus 1. Divided by 2b, we get y equals negative a over 2b. Now we can plug in, what do we have for a and b? Negative 7 and 5, so it's going to be negative 7 over 2 times 5. So we got 7 over 10. So we had negative 10 over 7 as the slope before, and now we have 7 over 10. That is the reciprocal, the negative reciprocal. So I'm going to go with choice B as my answer. Not 100% confident on that. If anyone has a faster way to do this problem, comment down below. I'd love to hear it. It's quite the doozy, but I think I'm going to go with choice B. That was crazy. Let's get into number 27. C is a constant. The equation has no real solution. So remember, when we have no real solutions, b squared minus 4ac needs to be less than 0, right? So we're just going to have to plug this in. Now remember, if it's equal to 0, then there's one solution. If it's greater than 0, then there's two solutions. But if it's less than 0, there's no real solutions, right? So let's put that in. So negative 34 squared minus 4 times 1 times c needs to be less than 0. All right, and so we're going to have negative 34 squared minus 4c needs to be less than 0. So I'm going to add 4c to each side. Let me just get out Desmos here to do negative 34 squared. Negative 34 squared is going to be positive, so it's going to do 34 times 34. Which is 1156. So 1156 is less than 4c. Now I got to divide by 4. 1156 divided by 4 is 289. So I'm going to go 289, correct answer. There we go. There you have it, guys. That is the completion of the Digital SAT Practice Test 1 Math Module 2. I've done every question on this test for you guys. Make sure to throw a comment down below if you do have a question. I know a few of these were kind of tricky. If you have a better way to do one of them, let me know. I'd love to hear it. Once again, if you can hit that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot to continue to make this awesome content for you guys. And once again, I'll see you guys on the next Digital SAT. Let's get it. See you guys.